everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a Victoria's Secret makeup look, or my version of it at least. I love how it turned out. I really was just picturing a super glowy, beautiful, healthy looking skin with some really pretty defined eyes and just really glossy lip. That's kind of what I think about whenever I think of Victoria's Secret. So I hope you enjoyed. If y'all want to continue, if y'all want to learn how you did, oh my gosh. If you want to learn how I did this look, just keep on watching. Alright, so first things first, we are going to prep the skin. So obviously all Victoria's Secret makeup looks are very beautiful, glowy, and really highlighted and fresh. That's kind of what I think about when I think about Victoria's Secret makeup. So we are going to go in with a moisturizer. This is by Tatcha. This is the water gel. It's really lightweight and it has, I wish I could see this, it has a little bit of like gold shimmer, a little bit in the gel. It's super lightweight and we're just going to put this all over the skin to prep it for the makeup. I do already have my brows done, by the way, just to kind of speed along the process. We're just going to moisturize and push that into our skin. This will give us some nice hydration and also allow that glow to kind of show through a little bit through the makeup. Prepping your skin is so important for how your makeup looks and lasts on your skin. So this is probably, if not the most important step of your makeup routine. So I kind of just press that into my skin, just making sure that my skin has soaked up all the product. I always do this with my clients as well, and I like to use my fingers because I like to feel how their skin is going to react to the product. I like to kind of rub their face just to get the collagen production going and feel their skin's texture. I'm very hands-on, so I always do this to my clients as well. So once that is on the skin, we're going to go straight into the face today. So for my face, I'm going in with the Rodan & Field's Radiant Defense Perfecting Liquid. This is in the shade Golden, and I'm using the brush that it comes with. It's really awesome, angled brush, doesn't soak up any of the product. And what I'm going to do is just squirt the product directly onto the brush. And I don't use a lot, just a couple of dots, something like that. And I work on the outer perimeter of my face first and then move inward. Since we are going to do a lot of, or like not a lot, but since we will still do concealer, I'm not a huge fan of just caking on all the foundation everywhere. So I kind of like to leave this triangle underneath my eyes open or without product, so that way you're not caking on just layer and layer and layer of foundation. And that's not the way of product. And that's not the way their skin looks either. So I want everything to look really natural and glowy. And this product that I'm putting on my face right now is not technically a foundation. It improves your skin while you wear it, which is why I love it so much. It's technically a dermacosmetic, so it's kind of like skincare, but it's skincare, but it looks like makeup, if that makes sense. Kind of crazy, I know, but I love it because when I put it on, I love knowing that it's not going to clog my pores, it's not going to settle into fine lines, and it's not causing any damage to my skin. It's actually improving it, which I love. It's kind of like wearing makeup but without the guilt. Plus, it's really radiant. So I thought this would be perfect for today since we are doing a very glowy Victoria's Secret makeup look today. So it goes perfect. It lasts all day long, and I'm going to put whatever is left on my brush just on my eyelids. And you see how I'm keeping this area bright and open. I'm not really putting any product there. That is on purpose because we're going to put some concealer on next. And this product that I'm putting on my face is buildable. So if you don't like the coverage with just one layer, you can always add another. Alright, so I just picked up the new Huda Beauty concealer the other day. So far, I am loving it. So what we are going to do is I like to use my fingers for concealer. Anything underneath the eye area, I really like to use the warmth of my hand to really melt it into the skin. So what I'm going to do, so I'm trying to get the perfect spot. I'm going to take just a little bit of this on my ring finger. And just about that much, if you can tell, and then I rub it in between my other ring finger, and then we are just going to place it in the areas where we want to conceal or highlight a little bit. So I like to go underneath my eyes. I just do little taps and then take it down the sides of my nose, underneath my nose a little bit. So kind of working in that triangle that we left open. Now whatever is left on my finger, I like to go on top of my chin, Cupid's bow, down my nose a little bit, just wherever, you know, you naturally want to highlight or naturally put that concealer. And then I just keep going with my ring fingers, just tapping that in until everything is nice and blended. I love using my fingers when I want a really pretty, natural kind of look. Your hands, I mean, obviously make sure they're clean, but they just have such a great, it's just such a great tool right here on your hands. It's just so great to really melt the product into your skin, since you naturally have the warmth of your hands working into your face. So it just creates a lot more of a natural look than just going in with a brush. Alright, so once that is tapped into my skin, I'm going to go back in with the brush that I used for the Radiant Defense Perfecting Liquid, and I'm just going to go over everything with this brush in patting motion. So I'm not rubbing or smearing or anything like that. I'm just going over the product, and this will just make sure that everything again is nice and blended, nice and airbrushed, and you have a really smooth looking face. There's a lot of blending that happens on Victoria's Secret Angels faces, so we gotta do the same thing. We don't want anything to look too cakey. We're just enhancing the features that we already have. I zoomed y'all in a little bit. I'm not naked. Okay. Alright, so now we are gonna set everything that we have on the skin. I'm using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. This is in the shade Banana Bread. That's so cute. And I'm going to take a brush, and we're just going to set everywhere where we put that concealer. Alright, so before I set, I'm just going to take my finger and go over my under eye area really quick, just to make sure there's no creases. So now with this brush, this is just a dome-shaped brush from Real Technique, so it does not matter what you use. We're going to take a little bit of that powder and just bake underneath the eye area. Everywhere where we put that concealer. And then I also like to take that powder underneath my jawline or underneath my cheekbone. Alright, so while that is baking, I'm just going to take a little spoolie and run through my brows, making sure that they're nice and fluffy, just getting all the powder out of them. The thing right now is brows, and so big, fluffy brows are a huge thing. So just making them kind of messy, but put together in the same way. I'd already filled them in with a powder, so that's why they're already pretty much filled in. And I'm just brushing through them. Alright, so now with a big powder brush with nothing on it, I'm just going to take it and we are just going to wipe away all of the loose powder. Alright, so next up is bronzer, and it really doesn't matter what bronzer you use for this, because the whole goal is to just be really bronzy and glowy and like Brazilian. So we are going to do that. I'm taking a mixture of this warmer bronzer and this cool tone bronzer, and I just like to mix them together to make the perfect shade. But if you had the option, I would definitely just go more warm tone, since we are wanting to be more glowy and sun-kissed. So just going along the outer perimeters of my face. I'm just really blending it out. And I love this brush for this. This is, I mean, a brush I got forever ago. It's super dome, just a big like circle almost, but really dense, and I love it. Alright, so now that bronzer is on, I'm going to pull my shirt back down. It keeps riding up. We are moving on to blush. So the blush that I love to use for this look in particular is the Milani Baked Blush. This is in the shade Rose d'Oro. It's number 2, but it's a beautiful rosy peachy shade with some gold throughout it. So it's a really pretty shimmer, giving you a little bit of a glow on the cheeks. So we're just going to put that right on the cheekbones and also work back. As you can see, I'm doing patting motions, like stippling motions, instead of just going in and rubbing it all over the cheeks. I like to kind of know where I'm placing it, so that is why I do this stippling motion instead of a rubbing motion. I'm going a little bit heavier on the blush today, just because, first of all, blush is the first thing to come off of your face, but also I feel like all the Victoria's Secret angels are just very rosy and like, you know? So I am just adding a little bit of extra blush today. I think Charlotte Tilbury was the sponsor of the Victoria's Secret fashion show this year. I know that they used a lot of her products, and if I had any, I would use them. I really want to try her powders. I think that's going to be my next purchase because I hear that they're amazing. I'm going to go a little bit on top of my nose. Alright, so now that the blush is on, we only have a couple more steps for the face left. And this next one has become such a favorite of mine recently. So if y'all follow Jaclyn Hill, and I'm sure other people have done this too, but she's the only one that I really know of that does this all the time. But I recently picked up the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder at Sephora the other day. And this is in the shade Dim Light. And so basically what I've been doing is kind of using this as a blush overlay. So I get done with all my powder products, I get done with my blush just like we just did, and with that same brush that we use for the blush, I'm going to dip it in and kind of go over my blush, kind of on the apples of my cheeks, and then slowly work it back. And then I'll also put it above my eyebrow. This just gives the prettiest glow I've ever seen. Like, I'll even take it underneath my eyes because it's not a shimmer. It's not a highlight. Like, I hope y'all can see the difference. And I really notice it more like throughout the day is when it really starts to come through, because I mean, it is still technically a powder, but it's just the prettiest, like, healthy looking glow for your skin. I love it. And y'all know I'm not just a super big highlighter girl, so this has just been such a pretty like glow, and your skin just looks so healthy. Like, I can't explain it. So I've been doing that, just putting it kind of everywhere, honestly, like even underneath my eyes. It just gives everything a really healthy sheen to it, and I love it. I've gotten so many questions just like walking around of what face like foundation I'm using, because they think it's that, but really it is this product, and it's so pretty. I love it, especially for this look. I'm like, I had to use it. It's just perfect. Alright, and last but not least for the face, we are going to do highlight. This is the Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlight, and we're just taking it on a little fan brush and just popping just a little bit. So what I just do is I just literally focus it right on my cheekbone, and that is it. and then also on top of the brow bone, a little bit above the brow, but just giving this area a nice highlighted look. The Victoria's Secret Angels, they really don't go like overboard with highlight, you know. It's not like a super blinding highlight. Their skin just looks really healthy, if y'all know what I mean. So I think we've mastered it. So it just gives you that little subtle little pop of highlight right there, and everything else just looks really glowy. Alright guys, so now it is time for the eyes, and honestly I'm keeping it super simple with the eyes just because I don't think that they really do anything super extravagant. It's almost just like, okay, let's keep enhancing your features that you already have. So I never see like crazy eyeshadow looks or anything like that usually on the Victoria's Secret fashion show. So we're going to go ahead and go in with, this is actually a face powder. This is the MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade C6, and I'm just taking a big blending brush. This is the Morphe M441, and just dipping it in there, and we're just going to go through our crease with this color. So this is pretty much the same shade as my skin tone, which is perfect for defining the eyes. So that's what we're doing. We're kind of elongating the tail just a little bit so we can make our eyes look a little bit more sultry. Perfect. And then I'm actually going to go into the blush that we used. I know it's super crazy, super different, with that same brush, just because it will add like a little bit of a pinky glow to the look, a little bit more of a romantic vibe. And we're just going to go in that same area that we put the face powder. Alright, and then with a pencil brush, I'm going to do those exact same steps, but underneath the eye. So going in with that face powder again, and going underneath the eye area, just kind of smoking it out. And then again with the pinkier shade. Finally, for our very last step for the eyes, we're just going to grab, this is the Too Faced Natural Eye Shadow Palette, and we're going to take the shade Push Up. Literally, it's empty right here, but I'm going to scrape the edges, and it's a really pretty brown kind of shimmer. And we are going to focus that on the outer corner of our eyes, kind of near the lash line. So this will just give us a little bit more depth to the eye. This is such a pretty color. And just a little hint of smokiness. And then just with whatever is left on the brush, we're going to take it underneath the lash line a little bit. Perfect. And then final step with the eyes, we are so close. I'm going back in with the highlighter that we used for the cheeks, so the Laura Geller Gilded Honey, and I'm taking my pinky finger, and we're going to press that highlighter in the inner corner of our eye area. So we're just giving that really pretty highlight right there in the inner corner to just complete the glowiness. So pretty. Alright, so last but not least, we just have lips to go. And for lips, I always like to make it, or I'm going to make it really glossy. So, alright, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of a matte lip first. This is in the shade Forever. This is the Revlon Ultra HD Matte Lip Color right here. And it's a really pretty color. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my finger and just take a little bit off the wand. And then just kind of tap it over my lips. So I don't want like a strong color. I want this to kind of look like my natural lip color. And then we're going to put a gloss on top. But this will kind of, since it is a matte lip, this will help the pigment stay, instead of just going in with the gloss over our like chalky lips. So just going over just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going in with the NYX Butter Gloss. This is in the shade Madeline, and I'm going to just put that on top. guys, and there you have it. This is my rendition of the Victoria's Secret makeup look. This was just kind of like my overall, like what I think about when I think about Victoria's Secret. Just really glowy, but really soft and pretty, kind of like they just woke up like that somehow. So this was my version of it. I hope you enjoyed, and this is honestly just a really simple and beautiful makeup look to do on an everyday basis, so I wanted to do this look for you guys. I hope y'all enjoy. If y'all try this out, let me know. I hope you'll have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, and I will see you next week.